Hey, what's up, King Groove? Um, I decided to go live now before I save this for the simple reason that because a lot of people aren't going to participate, I'm sending this out primarily to us, and I'm going to have a more in-depth conversation about what's going on. All right. Simple reason that hold on for a have second. A more in-depth conversation about what's going on. All right. All right, so here in the Philippines, um, hold on for a second. I want to just tell somebody. Um, I can't remember anything because all your messages or most of your messages and pictures are set to disappear. And so I don't pay much attention anymore. Um, so I'm dealing with one of the sisters in Colombia, right? Hold on for a second. Nothing is ever direct. Everything is so secretive with you. So it is the reason I backed off because I figured you had a lot more going on than what you were letting me know. So basically, y'all, there's a lot going on. All right, I spent enough time here in the Philippines, enough visits because, as y'all know, I come and I stay a while, and there's some things that I have picked up here um, that's kind of interesting. I picked up some things that is kind of interesting, and so it's kind of an eye opener here. So, what's up, Cornelius? If y'all can, real quick, and know how to do it. Share this with people, but with the brothers that you think might be interested in this, because this is another wake up call to the brothers, right? As y'all know, I don't have much to say to B Dubs in the United States, and so I don't make content specifically for them unless it's something like some real miscarriage of justice, like the woman that was left in the emergency room that was about to have a baby. That should never happen to anybody, right? Not as far as medical system is supposed to be all that. All right. But outside of that, right? Outside of that, I don't make content for them because I don't consider them as part of us or even as part of the community. And I think it's one of the things that a lot of brothers need to start waking up and is it's a thing that they need to start coming to a realization of that the B dub is not a part of the black community. They are not a helpmeet for the Afro men. And I'm talking about in general. And even though we say not all, because we don't mean all, understanding that there are certain ones that are, kind of decent, but it's not enough to make a difference for the mass amounts that aren't any good. All right. It's just, It don't make a difference. And now I realize what I have forgotten to do. All right. And so when we look at this, I can't even pull up my e-swords. And that's getting. So what's happening is that with all these updates and stuff that they're doing on Facebook and all the rest of that stuff, what they're doing, and I honestly believe this, they are trying to prevent us from being able to research from things that we already have on our computers. This is why buying books is so important. Brothers, they want us blind to what's going on, right? They want us blind to our history, and they want us blind to our spirituality. All right, don't get it twisted. And so when I get on here and I am trying to inform like brothers as to what's going on, I seem to be blocked by the system. Okay. And it's just not me, it's everybody. So if you look at when Microsoft and stuff is updating, if you had anything that was research worthy, that was real, all of a sudden it might not work anymore. Like my Bibles, my e-swords, right? And that's intentional. Don't get it twisted. That's intentional. What's happening is that a lot of brothers are waking up so fast now. And for some of y'all, I put a video up, and it was a radio show that myself, Charles Tyler, and Brother Al Griggs did like years ago, right? And it was to shut up a lot of the new guys just talking about red pill, this, that, and the other, the passport bros. They really don't understand the concept of what Brothers was trying to do. They really don't understand the concept of what Brothers were trying to do. We weren't engaged in the passport bro movement just to start a movement. And so what I've been trying to tell people is the passport bros is not a movement, right? It is a solution for all the movements. So what are the movements? It was a solution for MGTOW. It was a solution for SYSBM. It was a solution that for the Black Man's Option, which that was the first. Charles Tyler and the Black Man's Option was the first one that suggested the passport, getting a passport and just leaving the mess alone. All right. On just as content, and I came on joining him in that. All right. And so when we talk about these things, the passport bro movement and stuff, it wasn't a movement. It was a solution for all of the movements. Right? Now, what's happening is a whole lot of brothers that don't mean no good have come in, swept in, and they have taken over and they're trying to make the passport solution into a movement. And we really never intended it to be a movement. The movement was the Black Men's Options. The movement was SYSBM. All right. And those were the two I put down for. Like, I know the guys that started the SYSBM, and I had already been on that, but I just never coined a movement for it. Right. Um, when when I was talking about Obama wasn't a descendant of slaves, right? I came up with that. I didn't come up with the acronym ADOS, but I was like Afro people descendants of slaves in all of my videos. And then people would come in, co-op stuff, not give credit, and then take it and make movements and make money. And this is why brothers never had anybody that they could really trust for a solution. Because what started happening is people start taking over the movements or taking over the ideas, and then they would make money off of it. And so that was their purpose, to have something to make money off of. And it ended up not to be a good thing. Hold on for a second. It ended up not to be a good thing for brothers as a whole. You see what I mean? And so we wanted to be about a solution to the issues that we were seeing. Right? We wanted to be I knew I forgot something. So we wanted to be a solution for what we were seeing. All right. And so we did not intend for the solution to be a movement, but we intended for the movement to be the movement. But what ended up happening is the ideas we came up with got co-opted by a bunch of other people who had decided that, well, they're going to make money off of the ideas of others. And so it is what it is. Betrayal. So with that said, I've been to enough places and I spent enough time in it to have an understanding about the mentality of what's going on, and not only about what's going on, but hold on for a second. Not only about what's going on, but there's another important factor in all of this. If y'all want to understand what is happening to the women in these places that the brothers are going to, we're going to discuss that. It's going to be an open, frank discussion, right? If y'all want to know, and I'm gonna welcome anybody first in the panel that have traveled, are traveling, that have more knowledge about places, because one at a time, I've been to a few places, but for brothers that's been to other places, right, we can discuss whether what I am seeing in the places I've been to match up with what they're seeing in the places they've been to. And some of the times we'll go someplace and see something, but not realize it's what we're seeing. If you can understand what I'm saying. All right. So I was just on a live. I was in a live on TikTok, right? And some excellent points, but there were some things he did not consider. And the reason why he did not consider these things, because he wasn't looking at these things from the right point of view. right? He missed a very important key factor in what's going on in the world, across the world, right? And so one of the key factors that he missed is that the internet, social media, is social around the world. And because of the vanity of women in general, it is easy for social media to jack women up in the head to make them think that they are more than what they are. I mean, I hope y'all were able to catch what I just said. That was happening. And allow me to mention Alan Harper too as well. So what's happening is that social media is gaslighting women across the world to the point where they are not in the realization, or they are overhyping themselves of their true value, thinking that their value is in their looks. All right. So this is what I'm talking about. So they think their value is in their looks. And so when you ask them the question that I coined a long time ago, right? And a lot of people misrepresent the question. And it went like this: take sex, your degree, take sex degree, your degree, and what else? Something else off the sex, your degree, and your money off the table. What do you bring to a good man? They can't answer this because they kind of understand that they bring nothing. A lot of them have been ruined to the point where they actually bring nothing to a good man. And with this knowledge, a lot of them can't handle where they are in this. Now, things are kind of the same outside of the US, and it's kind of the same for this reason. Outside of the US, what's going on is that social media has brought on the same toxicity that exists inside the United States. I mean, and this is important right here. So he's saying that his cousin just came back from Brazil. He spent 2 months in Salvador Bahia. He said the black women there are problematic, and most of them were dropped down gorgeous, but had an average looking white man. All right. There's a reason for that. And so we're going to have this discussion. There's this painting that's in South America called The Redemption of Cain, right? So what The Redemption of Cain is a painting of the mind job that the Caucasians had done on the black women under slavery, and after slavery, after the people were freed. Now, what The Redemption of Cain is the psyops where the Caucasians taught the black women that if you want to improve your race, you will get rid of your black skin color by only marrying white men. right? Um, and that picture, Redemption of Cain, represented that. And I showed you that picture a long time ago. And so in South America, this was long known as bleaching out the race or blanqueadora. All right, blanqueadora. And so when you're saying that, Cornelius, okay, and I pinned, if you want to join the panel, I pinned it to the top. I pinned the link, right? But if you want to, when you look at this, the Caucasians had created a scorched earth policy across the world as they were the ones going in, graping, massacring, all the war crimes were done by them. Fratricide. They were, if you look at the story of Snoop Dogg and Billy Blanks, right? It seems like they are so far apart. One's a hip hop artist and one was a martial artist. But they have one similar story. And that is while their family members were in the military during the Korean War, the Caucasian soldiers were offing black soldiers and they took out their uncles. Snoop Dogg talks about it and Billy Blank talks about it. You know, Billy Blank's of Tybo fame. All right. So it wasn't only this. They taught people to hate us as Black Americans, specifically Black men. All right. The Black women, they taught them to not want to procreate with good Black men. All right. Which is why they promoted hip hop the way they did. They said we need to get rid of like the conscious people, the people that brought in the hot part, like having fun and stuff, like Kid and Play and all the rest of them. And they are the ones that, and we're not even talking about NWA, because MWA was good because they weren't it wasn't all NWA. You could listen to everything, but you could listen to their message too. Right? But you had the question, why would they invite Eazy-E to the Eazy-E, a lone gangster, a dealer? Why would the president want him at the White House? All right, and then we hear about how the hip hop artists sold out the Black community because they made the deals with the corporations instead of standing up to them and saying, no, we're keeping our art to ourselves. They made a deal with the corporation to allow them to control what images we see in hip hop. Right? And so they made hip hop one track minded. We had some of everything. We had the battle hop, we had the hip hop you played at the club so that people can dance. And then these same people talk bad about MC Hammer, who did so much for the Black community. All right. And then as you look, it got worse and worse and worse to now hip hop promotes women who are not from the Black community in the United States, but who are former ladies of the night. And that's who gets promoted. The ladies of the night. I want y'all to think about that. So they're promoting former scrippers, as they say. They promoted former scrippers, and that's who they have the B-dubs following, like Sexy Red in them. And so it has gotten ridiculous. But this is where we are. All right. This is the legacy that is left for the Black community. Now, if y'all want to hop on as we start to get into what's going on with these places, for those of you who want to hop on, if you want to, as we start broaching this, The link is pinned. So let's get into this. All right. So I'm currently in the Philippines. I'm currently in the Philippines. The women you see in yellow and orange, that's where I'm at right now. Okay. There's an art to how you choose in the Philippines who you're going to be with. And one of the main things that I want you to know is that here in the Philippines, right? Here in the Philippines, hold on for a second. So here in the Philippines, what's going on is the same toxicity that the B-dubs have is coming through here. And there's a reason for it. And the reason is social media. And as we were having this conversation on TikTok, I started to have a realization about something, right? And the realization that I started to have is, I was like, hold on, wait a minute. I am starting to notice that there is a pattern here. All right. And so the pattern that I started to notice is that hold on. The pattern that I started to notice, hold on. So one of the things I started to notice is social media, the women anywhere that are stuck on social media, all right, that has to be seen. And basically, and this is something else to talk about, how to navigate and what we're going to do about this, or how to um, how to hold on for a second. Okay, so how to do this, how to navigate, how to see these things for what is going for what it is, right? And and what I mean by see these things, hey, what's up, King Groove? What I mean to see these things for what it is I had a date last. Hold on, it's Sunday. I had a date Friday, right? It's a woman I ended up blocking, and I ended up blocking them for a reason. The reason why I ended up blocking them is that while we were talking, I noticed that everything she did, she wanted to take a picture, this, that, and the other, right? But if you have a long enough conversation with these women, all right, if you have a long enough conversation with these women, they will give themselves away for their what their intent really is, right? And some of the times is nothing. Now, here's another thing that I did, right? As we were talking, as we were talking and stuff, so we came up and we was just chilling out in my room, and you know, she wanted me to give her a massage and stuff like that, her head and stuff, and I did, but I kept it just there. I didn't take it any further because I was just questioning a lot of things, and she was half Filipino, half black, right? And so one of the things it just bothered me a lot that she was talking about. A lot of her conversation bothered me, and it said that she would rather be pretty much a bad woman, for the streets. Like, um, I'm looking, and here's the other thing: they are looking for somebody. They're looking for a dude that they can tell like how to do what they want. I need a man. All right, they tell you what they need. I need a man that could do this, that, and the other. And then I tell them I'm already capable of doing this, that, and the other. And you know that. And I said to her, but what can you do for me outside of sex? See, that flips the script. When you take their coochie, off the table, right? When you take that off the table, they can't use that as a weapon to entice you. Now it's a problem. When you take the coochie off the table for them, when you say, all right, I'm not going to allow you to weaponize coochie against me because it's the one thing I can get anywhere. All right, now this changes the game, and this is the game changer. But the discussion is going to be is how do you recognize them, and what are some strategies that you can do to get around them? Now, Cornelius, all right, he said they were fine, right? This is what the Brazilians on the far left used to look like in the 70s and 80s. And I would argue and say that they were kind of looking at that like this and all the way up to like 2016. They have taken on, they're not looking like this anymore. They're not looking like this anymore. They are taking on a lot of Americanized ways. And I'm going to tell you something about Brazil. Brazil wants to be the United States so bad, it's ridiculous. And I'm talking about the Brazilians. They think we have freedom in the United States. Notice what I said. They think we have freedom in the United States. And so what we're getting because of the social media is this. That's why I'm putting this up here. You're getting a whole level of ratchetness. You're getting levels of ratchetness amongst these women on social media. All right. And you don't know what level of ratchetness you're going to get. And that's the issue. But still, that woman in the middle, that's a woman in the United States. All right. Here's the thing. She looks good, but I look at her the same way I was looking at this woman in my room, thinking like this woman is nothing but trouble. I don't want to spiritually attach myself to this woman at all. Or worse yet, have her spiritually attached to me. So I was like, no, we ain't taking it there. Right? Because I don't want to have any type of allegiance to that woman. When you have bound chicka wow wow with a woman, you kind of create an allegiance with them. Even if you do pay to play. Because I'm going to say this. If you notice the senators and stuff, when they get caught up, they've been seeing the same pay to play woman and nobody else. I want y'all to think about that for a second. They have been seeing the same pay to play woman, but no one else. And that's because Schmex develops a unique attachment from between you and the person that you're doing it with. Even if it's pay to play, it's why a lot of dudes go back to the same one. Right. And they don't have one with it. They don't have, here's the thing though. When you look at what's going on in the favelas and stuff like that, right? A lot of the women, the Afro Brazilians, because of the black man in America, I want you to understand this. Because of the black man in America, they want to have black identity, right? But when it comes to dating, they only want to have the babies of the Caucasian men because they still, while they want black leverage and they want to be a part of black culture because it's the end thing, it always was the end thing. That's why you see our stuff being painted everywhere. Our stuff is the Biggie Smalls and Tupac. You'll see them all over the place. You'll see a statue of Michael Jackson. All the outside statues of people that are not Brazilian conquerors are that, and paintings are of that of Black Americans. I want y'all to let that sink in for a minute. The statues and stuff and paintings that they have up, the murals. And I put them up before when I was walking around the city, walking from one metro station to the next. Right? And what you saw was Biggie, you saw Tupac, you saw Malcolm X, you saw Dr. Martin Luther King. All right. Michael Jackson has a statue, and you see black artistry everywhere. And you see this even in the midst of the campaign that Caucasians had to try to make black men look bad. But when black men started traveling, when Snoop Dogg went there, right? When our artists started going there and doing videos there and putting them on, right? It raised our profile as black men, right? And so basically, and so they want that raised profile, right? But when you look at them in Salvador Bahia, right? They want to be lighter because light gets you by in Brazil. Right? They still desire white privilege. So a brother can go make it in Brazil, but it's like I said in the beginning, and Cornelius is bearing this out. If you get into a serious relationship as a brother, you are more likely to get into a relationship with a woman who is not an Afro-Brazilian, but more, what is the other hues they got? They got so many, I can't, but more light skin. The lighter skinned women, the Caucasian women, they really like dark men there. Right? They really like dark men. And with all these Caucasians burning up and stuff like that, melanin is kind of making a comeback, right? But what you have is you have the attack by B-dubs, against black men in America, and it is causing a somewhat of a problem with black women outside of the United States who are trying to be like them. But what happens is, um, as a lot of brothers start making me relationships with the Asians. Hey, what's up, Ace? All right. Again, I will say that the link is pinned to the top if you want to pop up into the panel, right? But but what's going on is this: that if you really look at what's really going on, you have a concerted effort by the Caucasians and now the B Dub to try to make everybody despise us, right? But here's the thing. Oh, here's the big fig Newton. And then this is where the weaponization of the passports come in, right? Which Brothers wasn't really trying to weaponize it, but the passport comes in like this. So the brothers that's made something of themselves that could get the passport and leave and develop relationships outside of the BC and the B Dub, right? They're taking their money with them. The B Dubs are trying to destroy our ability to have a relationship, and they can do it with women in Brazil, not so much the women in Colombia, right? Not so much the women in Colombia. And there's another reason for that, right? But they'll look with the women in Brazil. Um, the women in Colombia, they're not biting on that because the women in Colombia then got to deal with the lighter skins, and we're talking about whereas women now have brothers on the menu in places like Cali, Medellin, what's one? Cali, Medellin, somewhat Cartagena, and Barranquilla is starting to cook up for brothers. All right, real mean, don't mean to interrupt you. Train of thought. Yeah, it still works. I'm gonna start using it again. I'm gonna start sending messages via the email to let people know I'm on here again. It still works, but everything has been a problem in the US. Our email system, all of our stuff is failing because they're trying so hard to maintain control, and they're losing it, that they're just breaking down, breaking up the system. Our stuff is starting to turn to trash, and the US, mark my words, is turning into a third world country. We still have a first world army, and we will always have the first world army because that's where a lot of our money is going to. But our infrastructure is falling apart, and badly, because of racism, and because of the lack of desire, because the women have been so bad, right? That a lot of men can't don't a lot of men are just like, you know what? We're done with this society here. They're just done, right? So we're not sacrificing ourselves for the good of the women, for the good of the community, because we are starting to realize as men ain't no community. There is no community in the United States that really involves or that is just to men. So the men are backing out of these communities, and they're concentrating on getting their money to leave. Oh yeah, so I'm still doing that. I'm still doing that. I'm taking stuff to Colombia, but I don't do it as hard anymore because, like, as you know, when the woman attacked my channel, when the black woman attacked my channel and took it down, it cut out my ability to help them. So I still preach the message that I'm supposed to preach, but now there is no way to help them because they destroyed that. But because they destroyed that too, they took away a lot of brothers that was helping me out. And so I really haven't had a donation or nothing. Like again, we don't help the people that's trying to help us or help our image or stuff like that. We're helping people with that big platforms and stuff. We're making them rich. And so what happened was because my videos were, y'all know it, my stuff wasn't being shared. And if you look on this channel, I'm barely got, let me see. I barely got, I asked people to subscribe so that I can get past a threshold so I can do more. But I'll have people that come by and they'll watch a video, but you know, people aren't subscribing to this. There are so many other people that's getting rich off of this and off of having females on the panel and arguing with them that there's no room for brothers like me that's still doing grassroots in a community kind of stuff. Hold on for a second. Okay. They all, this is what she always, she trying, this is how she thinks she gonna get me back. But anyway, I mean, and so this is Colombia. All right, this is Colombia. So this is what I'm dealing with in Colombia, right? All right. And so what's happening is we I'm having the discussion with her and I'm telling her that so she's asking me why I cut her off, right? And so this is my point. This is my point. I'm thinking it's a real message. And the thing is, they don't address the issue. They just, well, I'm gonna use my body to entice you to forget all the effed up things that I've been doing, right? And then they get upset when that don't work. You see what I mean? And so it's just crazy like that. It's just crazy like that. It is, let's see, on the other hand, very important while he was visiting Salvador because he is from Atlanta and he said, the rainbow alphabet community is yes, 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 yes. And I was telling y'all about that. The B dubs, and what they did is the Caucasians sent the B dubs into these communities to promote that agenda. And that's what the B dubs have been doing. The B dubs have been going into these Afro communities in Brazil. Now in Colombia, again, they ain't effing with the Colombians like that, right? Because the Colombians, they're on a different kind of stuff when we talk about the Afro Colombians, right? And the pure Afro Colombians really do not like the Caucasian persuasion like that. All right. So when I was talking to you about San Basilio Palenque, right? When I was talking to you about them, Um, what happens is that the women and the men of the place, they keep alive what's been going on with the racism and stuff and slavery. So I mean, that's some thick history there. And so, man, I wish that I'm gonna be in Colombia starting the fifth. Anybody going to Colombia or anywhere like that, like around the holidays, like at least until February. Is anybody going there? Please let me know if you are, because the thing is that they don't play that there, so the B Dubs can't really go there and start too much mess, right? They really can't, and so um, with a lot of the people, when we talk about Colombia, right? When we talk about Colombia, they're not playing that like the Brazilians are. And the thing is, the Brazilians remember everything that happened to them, but the Colombians remember everything, but the Brazilians, they are in kind of a stupor where they acknowledge that all this stuff happened, but it really don't bother them that much, you know? It's like, well, yeah, this happened, but I'm not really too upset about it because I'm Brazilian, right? Kind of a thing. And so basically when we're looking at this, the Colombians, they're different in that the black people of Colombia is the ones, first of all, the black people in Colombia, they have culturally black things. Like this November, from the 5th to the 16th, right? This month, from the 5th to the 16th, they had the braiding festival. Hold on. Let me ask her. Because they had a braiding festival. Um, hold on. Hold on. Let me. Mm. Hola, hermosa. Esse mês, tu celebrar e feste de transar este mês aqui um, para eh, o dia 5 até o dia 16. Okay, I'm gonna see what she replies back. Um, so I'm gonna see what she so they have a braiding festival. They have a lot of stuff that they do in Colombia that maintains their Black heritage, where it's just for them. Okay, where it's just for them. Like it's for them, by them. Now, other people can come see it, other Caucasians, they could come see it, but it's their thing, right? In Brazil, they don't really have anything that's their thing anymore. Like capoeira was originally an art that was practiced just by Black people. Now, when you look, all the masters of it are going to be Caucasian. All the ones that spreading it into the United States is not the Black people from the favelas, it's the Caucasians that. And when I say Caucasians, I am saying Caucasians whose father was Caucasian, and maybe the mama was a little Blasian or a little Black, but the fathers were Caucasian. All right, now let's marry that up with what's going on in the Philippines, right? So in the Philippines, a lot of women have gotten so tied into social media, right? That their life is social media. And so when you go and you talk here and you go out and date, and yeah, if you go to Makati and some of the cities, right, you are going to find a lot of women that's pay to play, right? But if you plan on staying here a long time, it's going to be hard. So if you're coming short time, is the spot to be. Like Thailand is the spot to be. Short time, you're going to get what you want, right? If you want temporary, it's the club scene, this, that, and the other. Yeah, that culture is alive. If you plan on staying here, right, and you want more than that, all right, that's going to be a little different, a little difficult, right? And so you're going to have more of a difficult time finding the caliber woman like that, right? And so basically, now the reason why I could speak to this, because I am a non-drinker, so I'm not going to be visiting the bars and stuff like that, right? So it's kind of you're going to have to meet these women out in a public space, maybe at the mall, maybe like at work, while they're at work at the mall, at one of the stores or something, because they're really easy to have a conversation with, right? They're really easy to have a conversation with. And there's a secret ending to every phrase that you can use to be a little more polite than normal. All right. And so when you learn these things, you can navigate the Philippines really well. But then again, we're talking about long term versus short term. The other thing is Thailand is up there on the long term things. But what's happening is you got a lot of Black people that moved to Thailand. All right. And for the time being, because it's like on everybody's radar, you got a lot of people trying to go there, and they started their own Black communities in Thailand. Right? So you got a lot of Black women, Black dudes, right, that's gone down there and started Black communities in Thailand. Hold on, let's see. I've heard online the drugs, scopolamine, that they use in Colombia. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Remember, I said we're dealing with herd mentality. All right, so we're dealing with spiritual wickedness and herd mentality. All right, we're dealing with women that are trying to. It's a level of witchcraft. Remember, which people misunderstand the scripture meaning of witchcraft. All right, and so allow me to break it down. Witchcraft simply mean this: the craft of you using things to try to manipulate others into doing what you want. All right. Sorcery is the state of trying to create things that you can manipulate against others to get them to do whatever you want them to do. You see what I mean? So there's the difference. And so what's happening is that the scopolamine stuff, the dragon's breath, once these women start figuring out what it is, you will see it being ubiquitous. You will see it being used ubiquitous throughout the rest of the world when they catch on to this. And it separates the wicked and stuff like that, right? And so basically, it's getting to the point where you can't trust the service of a B-dub or any of these women anymore in these places, right? They don't play that in the Philippines or Thailand, because when your resources is limited, the last thing they need these women to do is to F up the tourism of men coming to these places. Right? Think about it. The African women that got arrested. All right, the African women that got arrested, they got arrested for pay for play in Thailand because they don't tolerate them taking jobs away from their women. Hey, what's up, Cortez? Again, Cortez, if you have something to add to this discussion, the link is pinned at the top. So just click on the link if you want to join the participate in the discussion. All right. And so when you really analyze what's really going on, brothers, when I say that we got to stop looking at them for anything other than an adversary, no, brother, come on and tell us what happened. See, these are the kind of stories we need to discuss. If you can, click the link at the top. Oh, man, dang. Okay, see, Thailand ain't playing. They are not playing. So they're not playing. They're serious. Hold on. I would like to see you, but it's hard for me to trust that you are truly interested in me. Because even your pictures and videos that you send, they disappear. Like if I click on them twice, I won't be able to see them. So once by accident, the second by accident, then I can't see them anymore. I can't save them or anything. So I'm thinking, why would somebody send me something like that if they only want me to see it one time? Period. I'm thinking that is suspicious. Period. I'm also thinking this person really don't like me. They're really not interested. They're having alternative motives. Ulterior motives. All right, so I'm back. So yeah, and so and let me say this. Let me say this while I'm back. And so what's happening is a lot of the women in the U.S. they're spreading. What the women in the U.S. have done is they branched out to other parts of the world to spread their toxicity to other groups of women because they could not compete with them. All right. And so you know what it is. If these women in the US can't compete with somebody, they'll try to destroy them. Okay, go ahead. Explain what you know from the chat. Okay. And so this is what's going on. That these women, the B dubs, they belong to the system, not brothers. And as soon as we recognize that, then and be on one accord with that, then we could deal with the simps. The simps understand this too. The simps know this. All right, this dude is talking about a woman, Akeisha, that got dusted in Thailand, right? She was making anti-passport bro videos before she went to Thailand. Now, I want you to understand this. I want y'all to pay attention to this. This one, the Keisha was making anti-passport bro videos. Then she went to Thailand to try to take toxicity there because one, they don't want us, the good men in the US. Remember, you see what they say. And you saw you see some of the Pop the Balloon episodes, and these women are truly lost and worthless to us, right? And so they belong to the system, right? She went to Thailand. She disrespected one of the Thai women who had a black boyfriend. After she started that beef, she went to Thailand and at some point got into a physical altercation and lost the fight. Oh, send that, brother. Send it. All right, she lost the fight. But here's another scenario. Right? The B dubs are not, they're toxic towards anyone. Okay. Right? And so this is what they're taking, right? All right. I'm gonna show you something else that's sad, right? How many heard about the blind woman? How many heard about the blind woman that was taken to the club by her friend? Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. When I say we're dealing with the toxicity of the B dub, right? This is what I'm talking about. Okay. I think this is it. Hold on for a second. I think I'm about to pull it up.
Totally blind. I do not have any eyesight at all. I cannot see any fucking thing. I cannot see light. I cannot see colors. I cannot see shadows. It is
Can y'all hear that?
completely fucking dark for me. And sometimes you want to depend on your friends and you depend on people that you trust. And some of these bitches don't mean you well. There are people out there.
I mean, look at the
There
anguish
are
of this
people out
woman.
there, y'all, that just mean bad. And you have to choose your friends wisely, okay? I thought I had a friend, but this bitch gets mad at me and she leaves me on the dance floor at a nightclub by myself, okay? Do y'all know what that feels like? I was so afraid. We went out to go see DJ Mustard because he was spinning in Vegas. If y'all follow me, you know I love partying. I love to get out. I went with my friend who I thought was my friend. And the night started off well. We were excited. We were drinking. We were having fun. And this guy started dancing with me. Some notable football player. I don't know his name. I honestly don't fucking care because I can't see him anyway. So we're dancing. And, I guess she wasn't dancing with anybody. So she slowly like comes and like moves me out of the way and like starts dancing with him instead. I don't mind. It's no big deal. I don't go to clubs for hookups. I go to just have fun. So it was no big deal. Eventually, I guess he leaves. I don't know what happened because I kind of started dancing with another guy. There was plenty to choose from. And we were just dancing for a while. I mean, the music was fun. We were really juking. And after maybe like an hour, maybe somewhere between 45 minutes and an hour. I can't be sure. Um, I noticed that my friend wasn't like she didn't speak to me at all. Usually when we're in the club, we dance, we lean over, we talk to each other, that kind of thing. Uh, it was quiet, so I like kind of was feeling around, trying not to look like I can't see, but kind of like I know what her dress feels like, so kind of like feeling people around me like without them noticing. And she wasn't there. So I take my phone out of my bag and I turn up the volume so it can read to me. And I hear my phone speaking to me and it puts out a text message or it's reading a text message and it says, I'm sorry, get home safe, I left. And I'm listening to the shit over and over again like she's gone. So
I want y'all to hear what just happened. A B Dub told her friend, a blind lady, I'm sorry, I left, get home safe. Now, what she probably did was found some D, and that overrode her looking out for her blind friend. But y'all, I want y'all to hear what she said. Her friend said, I'm sorry to the blind lady, get home safe, I left.
I'm in a full blown panic. I'm in this mega nightclub on a dance floor, drunk, by myself, can't see, don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I asked the guy I was dancing with. I took my cane out of my purse and showed it to him and said, can you help me downstairs to find an Uber? I'm gonna schedule an Uber so I can go home. Thankfully, he was polite enough and he didn't mean any harm. And he got me downstairs. I called my Uber. He waited for me. I went home. Scariest situation of my life because I gotta trust somebody I don't know and I'm drunk. Okay? Who leaves their blind friend on the dance floor?
Now, so there we go. Who does that? So even the B dubs can't trust other B dubs to be their friends, right? And so basically, so you're trying to like you got one going to a place to try to start some mess. Hold on for a second. All right. So, like I said, they belong to the system, not to Afro brothers. They don't belong to anybody. They have no loyalty to anyone. Understand what I'm saying? So think about this. This woman would go and leave her blind friend, y'all heard it, in the hands of strangers in order to get her home, right? And these are the same women that want to get upset when brothers understand that no, we're dealing with a level of toxicity. And they say, well, look at how we look, right? And so we see that red dress, and a lot of us brothers see nothing but trouble. So you think we're seeing you saying you putting that, oh, look at how I look. I look better than all the women. But the other women are more trustworthy. They bring more than looks. And okay, so you say you look better than all these women, right? What ends up happening is brothers like count the cost. Brothers count up the cost. We like, hey, you know what? These other women don't look bad. And we like the peacefulness in them. We like the fact that they are polite with us. Brother Cortez Smith. There it is right there. The internet is protecting the BW image because, hey, where was the video? What was the video on Facebook? Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me do a little research here. Woman gets beat up in Thailand. The hold on for a second. All right, so a Cortez. Um, were they at a club? Um, was it in Pattaya? Was it in Pattaya? Because I think I see something right here. I'll show it to y'all if I can get it. Um, hold on for a second. Let me look it up for this way. Black American woman starts a fight in Pattaya. Hold on. Was it in the street? I think I found it. It was a Thai lady in all black. Okay, I think I might see it. Hold on. Hey, what's up, David Bowman? Okay, it was on the street, bright weave. Is this it? Hold on for a second. Right there in the middle? Okay. Hold on, let me see. Black girl starts a fight in Thailand and loses. All right, let me see if I have better luck looking for it that way. And let me see. Let me go back and what's up, Space Rice Crispy? Oh dang. Okay, hold on. Let me get my official stuff out there. My donation link, my emails and stuff. Hold on for a second. One moment. I'm gonna put the my email and everything in the description box. But if you noticed, right, and if you look at look at YouTube Studio. If you look at my my stuff. All right, hold on for a second. Let me see how I can do this. I'll just have to do it like this. Nope, I don't like that. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. Okay, hold on. I'm putting my email in now. All right, let's see if it, if you oh dang. Okay, got it. All right, so I think I got it. Thing right here. All right, there's my email. I can't see that you got it yet. So if you look in the description box, you will see. Okay. All right, can y'all see me okay? I'm still getting all y'all's messages. What was the name of the video? Because I can show it if I have the name of the video. Andrew Show Passport Bro. Okay, I'll just look that up. Hey, what's up, brother Elijah? Elia. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. And so let me see if I can find that for you and I'll put it up. I'll put it in here. What was the name of the guy again? I think I have it. Black. Okay, I don't think I'll be able to put it up. It could be the topic of discussion next time, because the format is different. Yeah, I see it. B Dub gets beat up by a Thai woman in Pattaya. All right. So let's see if this can handle it. All right. And so yeah. All right. I just seen it. Yeah, it don't look good for the B Dubs. That the toughest thing on earth. Afro troop. Yeah, I got it. They're by a motorbike. All right, and so all right, it looked like I might be able to get it. So they're by a motorbike. Oh, and it's on. It looks bad, y'all. It looks bad for the B Dub. So yeah, it really looks bad for the B Dub all the way around, right? So they're without covering, they're without strength, they are without their femininity because they sacrificed it, gave it up, right? They are without their man, a man, a man that really truly cares about them and a legacy with them, right? And if any the men of other places that's hooking up with them, they're creating a legacy for themselves. All right. And so that's what's happening here. And so as they so let's see something. Okay, there we go.
The boy, it went down, and now I was feeling, you know what I'm saying? I got to watch the whole video. They was don't let the passport bros chick trick you. Let the whole you got to see the whole video. Shout out to the homies hub or whatever. So whatever happened, man, this Thai girl was on one, man. She
Hold
was
on for
on
a
it, man.
second.
She goddamn was ready to go, man. She wasn't playing. So she ran up on the.
All right, I'm gonna have to do it again. I got it, but I got the voice. Okay, there we go. All right, let me do this again because I kind of messed things up. All right, hold on for a second. So let me go back to. So okay, what's happening is this dude. What he did is that he didn't show the whole video. He didn't show the whole video. Hold it. Black woman in Thailand get beat up. Pattaya gets beat up by Thai woman. Yeah, it's kind of going to be hard to find because hold on, let me try to find it one other way. So anyway, so basically what we're talking about is these women are losing in every sense of the word. All right, when I found it, right, I'm gonna look for it another way. When I found it, it was a dude just talking about it, showing nothing, and I don't trust any video. Hey, okay, shalom, Elia. Okay, but what it is like I said, we got to get out of God's way. We got to get out of Yah's way, and yet Yah handle it right. We got to get out of His way, because He's not playing with these women. right? Black woman gets beat up by Thai woman in Pattaya. Hold on. Black woman gets beat up by Thai woman in Pattaya. Yeah, it's hard to find now. It was probably up for a little bit, but now it's hard to find. It's hard to find because you see there is a lot of that. And they might have taken it down. They might have taken it down. Um, they might have taken it down or because it was a fight. Yeah, yeah, YouTube might have taken it down. So they're showing the picture of it, but yeah, it from the pictures you see the B Dub getting her behind whooped by this Thai woman, and the B Dub is not as tough if she's as she thinks she is. She's not like the B Dubs of yesteryear, right? Here's the thing: people that don't stand for anything usually end up not being able to fight at all. They will lose to people who stand for something, right? And so and it's psychological and physical as well, because when you don't stand for nothing, when you don't believe in anything, you really don't build your body up to fight for anything. All right. And so when you do get into an altercation, for one, you probably caused it, right? Hold on for a second. One, you probably caused it. Hold on. And stuff like that. And so hold on. And if y'all would like, if y'all have something to add to this, at the top of my page, at the top of my page, you can click on the link. It's pinned to the top to join in and add personally. Okay. And so, yeah, this is basically it. And so there's a lot of things that's being hidden from us, right? A lot of things that's just difficult to do now. Um, like I was telling you, one of the things that was happening, hold on, now I got to do this. Hold on for a second. One of the things that was happening, and I'm seeing if I could pull it up, is I cannot run my eSwords program, my Bible program. And I find this kind of peculiar. I find this very peculiar that that all of a sudden, like, you can't run Bible programs and this, that, and the other. And so YouTube, I mean not YouTube, and so what's happening is that that with all the stuff that they're doing to our stuff, right? Well, all the things they're doing to our stuff, they are not allowing us to really use our things the way we used to be able to use it. All right. And so, and they are protecting the worst of us and allowing the worst of us to persecute the best of us. And it's a plan. And this is, hold on for a second. And so this is something, right. So here's the thing. And so, but remember, these are dudes primarily raised by the single mother who raised their sons to be gutless when it comes to be dubbed. But they also raised their sons to be unwise too. Right. And I say this because of this right here. In raising them to be unwise, oh, he found it. In raising them to be unwise, they raised them to be leverage for other B-dubs to have over them. And it's just not working out well for the community as a whole. In other words, the B-dubs, in order to sabotage their sons, sabotage the entire community. And now we see that the only remedy is to leave them completely alone, realizing that they did this on behalf of the system. Right? And because they did this on behalf of the system, we now understand that they belong to the system, not us. And that they would destroy us utterly on behalf of said system. That's the legacy left for the BC. That right there. And there's not much we could do about it except leave them alone. But now that we leave them alone, there's not much that they could do about that either. Because this, when the system sees that they can't use them to get at us anymore. They're no good to the system anymore. And you see that by everything that's being cut right now and that's being done in. All right. So, with that said, I'm going to let that be my last word. And as you download that, send it to me. And then there's a lot of people that popped up here. And so I was trying to gauge a good time in the morning to start this, because I know when it's in the morning here, it's nighttime there. And so I kind of figured it out. And so the next one I set up, we'll be ready to address this. And I'm going to see if I can get my stuff in order as far as my programs that I use. All right. With that said, people, I'm out. Let's see. Was it? Okay. Hey, brother, how did you send it? Hold on. What are my thoughts on what? What are your thoughts on the U.S. military presence in Venezuela? Do you think we're on a... No. I don't think we're on the brink of war. Not a real war. Not a world war. Hold on. Let me see if I send it to this email. Hey, brother, send it to that email right there. Just copy and paste it in the link, and I should get it there. The other thing is, it might take a while to send because it's in video format, and because and if you downloaded it. The other place to send it is this. In Messenger. That might work as well, since it's a video file. So with that said, I'm gonna bust a move, and I will holler at you all later. And I'll probably come back again. Tomorrow is Monday. So right now it's Sunday here. When it's Monday for me, it'll still be Sunday for you all. So I started this video today, Sunday morning at around 10 or 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. And it was like 10 o'clock your time, Saturday evening. So that's kind of what the math that I'm working on. But anyway, Hey, thank you all for stopping by, and I will holler at you all later. Don't forget that if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. If you would like to donate, the donation links will be in the description box. But yeah, if you subscribe and click that bell so that you can get the notifications when I first start. All right, with that said, I'm out. Peace, love, and soul, everybody.